Did you ever have to make a meal in 20 minutes, literally from the time you entered the kitchen until the meal was ready to serve? Well, Sally Gasco did once, when the schedule for a before-supper football game and an after-supper movie got a little confused. She wasn't in too much of a hurry, though, and you should never be, thoroughly before starting to the meal. Because Sally is rapidly learning homemaking, she knows most of the basic techniques of good kitchen behavior and knows how to use the tools of the craft. But to get a meal in a hurry, something more is required. In this case, a little intelligent pre-preparation. In a convenient corner of the Gasco kitchen is an emergency shelf of canned and packaged goods appropriate to a quick meal. Here's where Mother also tucks away a spare collection of cleansers. The foods include canned soup, cooked meat, stews, any good packaged food which will keep indefinitely. Sally decides upon corned beef hash and hot date pudding for dessert. Other ingredients for the meal, corn on the cob and green peas, will come from the frozen food storage compartment of the refrigerator. The Gascos keep this shelf full of the modern frozen foods, which are not only useful in general, but especially so for quick meals. The basic meal, the hash, corn, peas, with a little cheese to spark up the flavor of the hash, are spread out on the work shelf along with the utensils she will need. Time to go to work. High time even. 3 minutes suffice to get all the packages open and the contents out in pans and cooking. Another convenient thing to remember in this quick cookery is that vegetables are best to eat and best for you if they are cooked a minimum length of time. In the case of frozen vegetables, the time is even shorter. The pudding goes into the oven, where it will warm slightly while they are eating the main course. Sally will serve it with cream. There's no time for fancy sauces. How's the time going? Well, fast, but not too fast. It's time to serve, and Sally is going to be able to keep that 6 o'clock deadline. Mostly, to be honest, because of intelligent marketing, rather than any great show of speed right now. While she's serving, we might remember, as she's doing, how it's possible to cook a meal quickly. Knowing how to handle the equipment involved in cooking, to use the utensils deftly, and to use them for the purpose for which they were designed, is a matter of practice and a question of technique. When the need of the moment is for fast, efficient cooking, a modern gas range can be the most important piece of equipment in the kitchen. "6 o'clock, and there we are. It's possible to make a meal in 20 minutes if, first, you're well-grounded in good kitchen techniques and have the right tools with which to work at the time. And second, if you're foresighted enough to purchase and keep in a special emergency shelf in your cupboard and the storage shelf of your refrigerator, a good supply of those modern foods which have taken most of the terrors out of cooking against a deadline."
Whether it's done by the day, by the week, or just once a month, meal planning presents the homemaker with her best opportunities to express her talent. And today's modern world offers the widest variety, the greatest selection, and the most delicious possibilities imaginable. Most meals start with an idea, usually an idea about meat. It's hard to beat the sizzling aroma of lamb chops. Or what about meatloaf with a fresh twist called lamb loaf? And lamb shish kebabs will bring real life to an evening on the patio. Has your family tried lamb stew lately? Make plenty because it's good as a leftover dish too. Also, there's an unlimited selection of delicious roasts, like this leg of lamb, or this tempting rolled shoulder roast. And even this, the gourmet's choice, the Royal Crown lamb roast. All are available at your market throughout the year. For a satisfying combination of economy, variety, quality, and palatable pleasure, remember there's nothing like lamb. The variety is almost endless. Roast lovers will find many delicious lamb cuts that roast superbly. The leg, for example, is more than just a leg of lamb. Your meat man can provide you with a long leg, and you'll be able to serve lamb sirloin roast and a leg of lamb roast. And the loin section produces the delicious tender loin chops. This portion of the lamb produces the rack roast, and when 2 or 3 are used, the result is the crown roast. This, called the breast section, produces riblets and spare ribs. The shoulder section provides familiar round bone and blade bone chops, the square shoulder roast, and the rolled and tied shoulder roast. One of the delightful things about lamb is that preparation of nearly all lamb stew is an old friend at any dinner table. To prepare stew, brown the lamb cubes carefully in a small amount of cooking oil and add your favorite combination of vegetables. Cover the pan tightly and simmer. Better fix plenty, because the stimulating aroma of lamb stew does something exciting to the appetite. It'll be a surprise if you have any left, but if you do, good for lamb. Leftover lamb stew is good reheated or as a new dish in disguise. One of the favorite leftover dishes is lamb pot pie. While the stew is warming in a 450-degree oven, prepare the biscuits. Then, add the biscuits to the top of the bubbling stew and bake for about 20 minutes. Results? A perky new dish from a dependable old favorite. Other use-again lamb dishes include cold sliced lamb sandwiches, great for lunchbox excitement. And for a hot meal, without that warmed-over taste, how about hot lamb sandwiches, made with last night's main dish and piping hot, rich lamb gravy. Curries and many casserole dishes can also be made with leftover lamb. For other quick-to-fix, economical lamb meals, try one of the many possibilities with ground lamb. Lamb burgers with all the trimmings will go a long way to satisfy the most critical group of guests. And an economical, always tasty lamb loaf will suit your family fine any evening of the month. To prepare lamb loaf, just add minced onions, dry breadcrumbs, a little evaporated or fresh milk, and seasoning to a pound of ground lamb. Preheat the oven to 325 degrees while you mix these ingredients in a medium-sized bowl. Then shape into 4 individual rectangular loaves and bake. They'll be done in about 40 minutes. When served with curried peas or your favorite vegetable, you'll find the taste deliciously different and a favorite to add to your recipe box. One ground lamb dish may be new to you. It's called the Scotch roast and combines ground lamb with a whole breast of lamb. Seasoned to taste, the ground lamb is stuffed into a pocket in the breast of lamb, and it may be baked, or you might like to freeze it, then slice for broiling. Tempting? Of course. All lamb is. But experiment with lamb in any of your favorite meals, like a party dish of special lamb spaghetti sauce. The spicy taste and zesty aroma come from a combination of lamb, tomatoes, garlic, onion, and oregano. It's easy to prepare. Just brown the meat, add the spicy mixture of herbs and vegetables and let it simmer for about 45 minutes. Then surprise the spaghetti with a new sauce. And you'll be surprised at the wide variety of lamb available at your market. Most cuts are in the cooler, but when you're ready for a special cut, your meat man can have it for you in a few minutes. It takes special skill to prepare cuts like the famous crown roast. 2 or 3 rack roasts are bent outward and stitched together to form the crown. And be sure to request Frenched rib ends for a special touch by you in your own kitchen. Again, preparation of lamb, even the most elaborate dish, is 5 degrees.